It's good to have you back with us once again. And thank you for joining us week on week on these episodes. At M&A Ambassadors, we are looking to help each of you as brokers elevate your real estate selling experiences to the next level. So join us once again on another episode of the USP, Becoming the Ultimate Sales Professional. Now, today I want to talk about a very common tactic used by buyers and sellers when they engage with salespeople. It's called a smoke screen. Now, in objection handling, it becomes really important that as brokers or as salespeople, we isolate genuine objections from what could be excuses or perceptions. If we don't do that, we might end up spending our time and energy answering objections that are not even a genuine objection. The result of that, there is no deal coming at the end of it. So what exactly is a smoke screen and how do you uncover these smoke screens? And I'll give you a couple of examples, right? I'll also show you a technique to uncover it. Essentially, a smoke screen is a concern that is voiced by the client, but it's not the genuine concern. It is said so that the real concern is disguised. You see, sometimes buyers don't want to tell us what's their real concern because you might just answer it. And if you did answer it, then they feel the pressure of having to make a decision. So what's the easy thing to do? Take an objection that everyone is talking about, something generic, something that's a perception in the market, and throw that as the reason why they don't want to go ahead right now. Typical generic objections like these would be, now is not a good time to buy. Economic stability is a big question right now globally. There's a recession coming. Interest rates are going up. Dubai is a bubble. These are all examples of smoke screens because you do not yet know if this is the actual concern of the client. So it could be used to disguise the genuine concern. It can also be used to throw you as the salesperson off track, because a lot of salespeople get nervous when objections are thrown at them, particularly price-related objections. And the third reason a smoke screen could be used is just a negotiation tactic. If I, as a buyer, tell you, I think the prices are too high, the broker goes onto the defensive and he's already thinking about what he can offer as a concession. And so I, as a buyer, is going to benefit from that. So three reasons why the smoke screen is used. Okay? One, to disguise the genuine concern. Two, to throw the salesperson off track and to destroy their preparedness and approach. And three, as a negotiation tactic. So our job is to isolate the smoke screen. So here's an example. Let's say you're presenting an apartment, maybe a beachfront apartment, and then the client says, I love the apartment, but I think the prices are too high. What would you normally do as a broker? You would adopt one of these approaches, which could be things like, when you say the price is high, what exactly have you compared me with? Or, which product have you compared me with? Which developer are you comparing us with? How exactly did you come to that conclusion? Now, these are the typical approaches some of the brokers use. Some of them will even justify it. The reason it is priced this way is because 1, 2, 3. But let me ask you a second question. When this client said the price is too high, how do you even know it's a genuine objection? How do you know he's not making an excuse? So if you spend your time attempting to handle this and it is not the genuine objection, guess what happens even if you answer it? There is no transaction, because that was never the real concern of the client. So what should you do when an objection is thrown at you? The golden rule of all objection handling is to first check if it is a genuine objection or a smoke screen. Now, how do you do that? You use an empathy statement and then you use a qualifying question. Empathy statement, qualifying question. So here's an example. Client tells you Dubai is a bubble. I'll take the name of the client. I'll say, Ahmed, I can see that this is important for you. Is that the only thing stopping you from going ahead? Now, there's only a yes or a no answer to this. So once the client says, well, yes, that's what's stopping me, then I will attempt to handle it. If he says, well, not exactly, I'll simply say, Ahmed, there seems to be something else. May I ask, what is it? And then the real objection will come out. Here's another example. The price is too high. I said, Ahmed, pricing is important for you to make a good return. Is that the only thing stopping you from going ahead? You see, the client is pushed into a place where he has only a yes or a no. A maybe, I guess are all in the no category. So this is what you should do with every single objection so you can isolate the smoke screens. Okay? The technique that you will use is an empathy statement, because you want to show to the client, even if he's making an excuse, you consider it important. And then a qualifying. The qualifying question is always, is that the only thing stopping you from going ahead? Don't say, is that the only thing stopping you? You see, the last words remain in the head of the client. Is that the only thing stopping you from going ahead? And usually that will uncover the smoke screen. Thank you for joining us once again on this episode on smoke screens at M&A Ambassadors, becoming the USP, the ultimate sales professional.